There are moments in life when clarity doesn't arrive by speaking louder. Sometimes, it comes when you simply watch, quietly, patiently, without trying to control what you see. Because truth doesn't always show itself clearly. At times, it wears a mask. And in those moments, the wisest person in the room isn't the one giving directions. It's often the one who quietly observes, silently reading the shifts in people's eyes. Krishna understood this better than anyone. We often remember him as the divine guide, the flute player, the speaker of eternal truths on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. But long before that chariot ever rolled into war, Krishna had already walked into a more delicate battlefield, the kind where emotions collide in silence, where loyalty is tested not with swords, but with presence. And in that space, Krishna didn't just stand out because of his purity. He moved like a shadow, unnoticed by some, but aware of everything. There's a part of the Mahabharata where Krishna is in the Kaurava court. Not as a warrior, not as a preacher, but as a quiet visitor, a listener, a questioner, someone who speaks gently and watches carefully. Because not every battle is fought with noise. Some require silence. Some demand patience. These are the battles where wisdom is found not in what people say, but in what they don't. In how they shift when the truth is spoken. In who avoids eye contact when something sacred is mentioned. In who grows nervous when nothing is being said at all. That's why Krishna says in the Gita, "Among the deceivers, I am the game of dice." Not because he celebrates trickery, but because even illusion, in the hands of someone aware, can lead to clarity. You see, Krishna didn't lie. But he didn't always say what people expected either. Instead, he created space, a gentle presence that allowed others to speak freely. And then, he listened, not just to their words, but to everything in between. That's what real awareness looks like. It isn't just knowing the difference between right and wrong. It's being able to feel when someone speaks the right words, but for the wrong reasons. It's noticing the fear behind a confident smile. It's recognizing pride hidden inside an apology. And sometimes, it means understanding that a soft mask is more honest than forced clarity. Because people only reveal their truth when they feel either safe, or when they forget they're being seen. This is why Krishna moved the way he did. Not to control, but to understand. He blended roles. He became a friend, a guide, a witness. And in doing so, he helped people lower their guard, not by demanding truth, but by creating space for it to rise on its own. And maybe that's the version of Krishna we don't talk about enough. Not the one who teaches us how to speak well, but the one who teaches us how to become deeply aware. Aware of the energy in a room. Aware of what's being said, and what's being avoided. Aware of who people become when they don't think anyone is watching. Because spiritual maturity isn't just about light. It's also about walking through shadows with a calm heart, and knowing which ones are real, and which are not. Most of the time, we think wisdom means having perfect answers or sounding spiritual. But Krishna shows us something else. He shows us that the deepest insight often comes from waiting, from stillness, from watching the entire board, not just the moves people make. He knew how to wait, how to listen without interrupting, how to ask just one question, and then allow silence to do the rest. And through that silence, he often saw more than anyone else could. So maybe the next time you find yourself in a room full of noise, full of people trying to impress, explain, or perform, you don't have to join in. You don't need to speak first. You don't need to push your point. Just be still. Just watch. Because people will always show you who they are, not through their declarations, but through their pauses, through the choices they make when no one is watching. And if you stay calm, if you stay present, you'll start to see what Krishna saw. You'll notice the games. You'll notice the patterns. And more importantly, you'll understand who's playing fairly and who's hiding their hand. This is what spiritual intelligence looks like. It's not about raising your voice. It's about staying grounded while the world spins around you. Because not every fight needs a weapon. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can carry is your silence, your stillness, the ability to notice without reacting, to understand deeply without needing to be understood. That's the kind of wisdom Krishna lived. He didn't just give people truth. He gave them the space to reveal it themselves. And when he sat quietly, fully awake, fully present, the world around him spoke louder than any words could. So when life puts you in a space where everything feels loud, where everyone wears a mask, and where truth feels hard to reach, don't panic. Don't retreat. Just smile gently. Sit with patience. And let your awareness do the listening. Because when the world is full of noise and performance, the one who remains quiet, the one who simply observes, becomes the presence that others can feel, even if they can't explain why. They don't try to impress. They don't argue to be heard. They just stay rooted and let truth reveal itself. That's the kind of clarity Krishna carried. It wasn't loud. It wasn't obvious. But it was real. And it was awake. And sometimes, that's what divine strategy truly looks like.